24 hours after the US troops pulled down the statue of Saddam Hussein, Four Corners headed for Baghdad. Now that Iraqis were free of their brutal dictator, we set off to witness the crucial days that would follow. Would the Iraqis welcome the US and their allies as their liberators, or see them as an occupation force? What would be the early signs that after the war, the United States could handle the task of delivering stability and peace in Iraq? What if it's mishandled?
Then we're talking about civil war.
Tonight we take the journey into Baghdad to witness the aftermath of war. The choppers arriving in northern Kuwait have come to collect the reinforcement troops of the 101st Airborne Division of the United States Army. They'll be taking us on the first leg of our journey to Baghdad. The soldiers heading for the capital are feeling both a sense of relief and a sense of vindication. In their camp in the desert, they've been beamed the pictures of Iraqi crowds cheering as the statue of Saddam Hussein was dragged to the ground. Excuse, can I just ask you, do you mind if I just ask you if you feel better about the war since the news yesterday?
Yes, I do. Looks like things are actually getting better, and it seems like it's turning less into a war situation and more into a humanitarian situation. So I'm real happy to see that, and I'm happy most especially to see that the Iraqis are accepting the coalition forces. So that makes me feel a lot better.
Reminded me of watching statues of Stalin and Lenin come down and the wall come down, and that's what we're here to do.
You worried about the chaos, the looting, and any possible revenge killings? What are you going to do about that kind of situation?
Well, that's kind of outside my lane.
Barely 3 weeks after the first bombs hit the centre of Baghdad, the bulk of the fighting is over. The US and their allies have swept up through southern Iraq, faster than these soldiers can make it to the front. Their only concern is that they will miss the war. As we fly across the Iraqi border, the gunner fires his weapon. Just a test, just in case. We land about 30 kilometres south of Baghdad, close enough here for the troops to have engaged with the enemy. There's a long column of tanks returning from a day in the capital. The soldiers have just made contact for the first time in the war. One Iraqi bullet hit one of their tanks. They are now combat veterans.
Yeah, I was up. We were scanning, and I heard, ching! Skipped off here. Skipped off and went up that way. Yeah. Then I popped. Sorry, I'm a combat veteran. No, I wouldn't. I'm a combat veteran. This is what I came here for. Good day. Good day. We got contact. That's all we wanted. That's all we've been dreaming of is contact. Contact. You remember it, I guess. Hey, Monique, come over here. You're a pretty boy.
We're assigned to a unit providing fire support to the frontline troops. This unit has fought their way up from the southern city of Karbala, and to date they've not lost a single man. We stop just past the boundary of Baghdad. Around the field, we stumble across the discarded uniforms of Iraqi soldiers. They clearly took one look at the firepower facing them and ran. What happens when you open fire?
As far as...
What happens to the enemy, or what?
Well, we fire 50-pound... the shell we fire weighs about 50 pounds, and it's got a kill radius of about 35 meters. So usually when we fire, we've been firing 4 to 5 rounds per gun. We've got a 6-gun battery. So, you know, 20 to 30 rounds onto a target, 35-meter kill radius per round. So, I mean, we can destroy things pretty quickly.
That night, we can hear the sounds of battle about 6 kilometres away, and the sky is lit by the blaze from a bomb that has landed in Baghdad. The unit's commanding officer joins us as we watch.
Earlier tonight, what we heard were main guns from our M1 Abrams. Did hear a little bit of Bradley out there firing, some 50 cal ammo. Yes, they've got into contact with some resistance over there in the town.
This sort of gunfire at night that we heard earlier, the sort of thing you hear most nights, keep you awake?
Actually, no. It's for an old soldier like me, out in training, hear it all the time. It's like I said, I don't want to sound morbid, but it's kind of soothing. It's what we're used to. It's our job, this part of it, so it's kind of relaxing.
The unit's planning to spend another day on the outskirts, so we join what they call the Top Gun unit, who drive us around the edge of Baghdad. People in their cars wave at the soldiers, but they're still taking no chances. They treat every car as containing a potential suicide bomber.
And that's why I get a little nervous when we get in these big crowds, because, like I said, it only takes one of them with a stick of dynamite to throw it in one of these vehicles, and...
Most of these folks seem to be waving as you drive past.
Yeah, we were taught that the thumbs up was a bad thing in Arab, but they all seem to be giving us with a smile, so we hope that's a good thing. When we came in yesterday, it didn't seem as friendly then. Now it seems to be picking up a little more. And I think that's because even the people were unsure of what our intentions were.
In the afternoon, they drop us again on the outskirts, so we take a chance and hail down a local car to take us to the centre of town. A week after the ground assault on Baghdad, buildings are still burning, some from the war, some from a wave of arson that has swept through the city. Most of the major buildings have taken a pounding. The Ministries of Information and Communication were amongst the first to be hit, but the Ministries of Trade, of Education and Agriculture were all struck as well. The remnants of battle are everywhere. The roads are littered with the burnt-out shells of buses and vans and cars. Every burnt-out car raises a question. What happened here?
هذا شخص راح يغير قناة الغاز هذه. قناة غاز. اكو دبابة أمريكية واقفة. فما حذروا بدون تحذير يعني. بدون تحذير طلقوا عليه النار هو توفى هو ويا واحد بالصدر احترقوا.
I know 3 families who have lost 6 people. One of them, this friend I told you about. Another one who lost 2 sons in a car. And a third family who lost 3 sons in a car. They were going to fetch medicine for their mother when they were shot. It's war. But, we feel devastated, really, with this state.
The Americans met little of the expected resistance from Saddam's Special Republican Guard as they moved swiftly into the centre of town. But people did fight. Under Saddam Bridge that crosses the Tigris River, we came across their bodies. They're still being pulled out of the dirt 5 days after what was one of the few bloody stands in Baghdad. We find a young Iraqi civilian who fought in and survived this battle, a combat veteran from the other side of the war.